$200 million for what? Some leaders in Minnesota are demanding it, and Americans are losing their mind. Let's break it down. Somalis leaders and activists in Minnesota are demanding this amount in reparation, blaming Trump and ICE for economic impact tied to immigration. And when I say this sparks reaction, I mean serious reactions. Some Americans are saying reparation for what exactly? While others argue if anyone deserves reparation in America, it's Black Americans. In this video, I'm breaking down the online reactions and sharing my own take on this heated debate. My name is Faith and you're welcome back to Chat with Faith. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a conversation. And as always, credit goes to original creators for every single clip used in this episode. This video is for educational purpose and awareness. It is not meant to hate or discriminate against anyone. The goal is to discuss real challenges and perspective openly and respectfully. We've got more clips and conversation coming your way, so stay tuned. Let's chat.
A little news coming out of Minnesota. The Somalians in Minnesota are demanding reparation after the crisis that ICE brought into their community. They are saying the businesses that made under $200,000 really suffered, and we need to pay those businesses back. They're also saying that the people who are being evicted out of their apartments because they no longer can pay rent, we need to pay for that rent. And they're also demanding the federal government apologize for the trauma that ICE brought upon their community. The Somalians, 81% of them are on welfare, and if they have children living in their home, I guarantee you most of them are receiving welfare, and 73% of them are receiving Medicaid. We are taking care of the Somalians. Most Somalians do not even pay rent because American tax dollars pay for their rent. Now they're demanding reparation, demanding that we pay them because ICE came into their community. Now the Somalians, a lot of them were fraudsters, are asking for us to pay them for the damage that was done. Could you imagine going to a different country and demanding that that country pay you for any trauma that was done to you? This is hard to believe that the Somalians are actually asking us for more money. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
I want to say thank you to those who drove across the state lines just to buy from us and support our small businesses. I want to thank you for also my neighbors for bringing food so we can provide those trapped in their houses and unable to walk or go out from their community because they fear being catched and thrown to the jail. I also want to thank you for the thoughtfulness for bringing dates and water so Somali communities are able to break their first Ramadan with dignity, because Ramadan is not the same this year for us. I also wanted to thank my brothers and sisters, Somali brothers and sisters. I know Ramadan is hard for you, but you are the bravest people I know. You survived civil wars, and hang in there. You can go through this one. Also, but that's not it. We must repair the damage by making sure that this is for our governors, for our state, and for our legislators. We want to make sure that the existing relief programs fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community. ICE out, families in.
ICE out,
ICE out, small business in.
ICE out, small business in.
ICE out, justice in.
Somalis and men demands reparations because ICE was in the Twin Cities for a few weeks.
We will continue to raise our voices until our leaders show up and deliver solutions.
You know, as if several $1 billion in fraud isn't enough, the Somalian community in Minneapolis is demanding more.
Small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
You know, you gotta be fucking kidding me. The Somalian community have some nerve to stand there with their purses open demanding more money. Reparations, you could say. I mean, haven't the American taxpayer paid enough? I mean, your being in this country is your fucking reparation. This whole press conference is blasphemy. I mean, who do you think keep you pirates in butter and brickle? And then you hold a rally and this is your spokesperson? A person with an IQ of 40? And who the hell did you have lose their lives? I mean, at the end of the day, you had white liberal women out there acting as terrorists trying to stop ICE from doing their jobs. I didn't see any of you mummy-faced Durkas out there fighting with those crazy liberals as they tried to obstruct ICE, all in the name of protecting you. No. While white liberals was out there committing jihad against the ICE agents, you guys were somewhere hiding, stealing. Go figure.
Are you kidding me? What side of history are we in? Are we back in the Civil War? The Somalian people are asking for reparations now? Oh, hell no. You ain't getting reparations. No, you're not. You are not getting reparations. I'm sorry. But if anybody's going to support that, move out of the state.
I beg your finest pardon, you want what?
Leave programs fits into our criteria.
Like, do you even understand what you're reading?
Of small business owners.
Like, y'all had somewhat of a fighting chance with the little dude with the glasses that cost like $5,500, and you're out here reading like you can't even understand anything.
Not those who makes $200,000 and above.
Yeah, that was literally y'all. Because y'all were sending that shit home.
We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE.
You mean the crisis of y'all's plan getting fucked up? Because y'all got caught?
We also demand.
Demand? I'm fucking sorry?
An immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis.
Don't forget to say that y'all caused. Because this is nobody's fault but your own.
Our community deserves accountability.
Well, I'll be damned. You did say something right, but it's not the accountability that you're looking for. Because your community does deserve to know where all that fucking money went.
Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
And straight back to the bullshit. Because this is the first time I've heard any of y'all talk about people that have lost their lives. Y'all don't give two fucks about those people. But the audacity that you would open your mouth and say you need reparations is fucking crazy. Do you not realize how long black people have been trying to get reparations for fucking slavery and they still haven't seen a dime? And y'all think you deserve anything. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And in Minnesota, I said I hadn't heard a word out of Minnesota, and I guess I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon because now we have Somali people. Minnesota goes quiet. Not a peep comes out of Minnesota. And then who takes the stage? It's not one of your born and bred Minnesota folk like we'd like to hear from. No, we have a Somali person come up and say they demand reparations. They want money, 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 money. These people are very, very obsessed with money. And I know the Democratic Party and all the liberals would like, I'll tell you what system they'd like. They would like any person of color to be able to do anything, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because they don't want to be called a racist. You never want to look like a racist. So any person that has even a hint of color to them, let them get away with whatever. That's the Democratic way. Never say a word. Minnesota folk, when are you going to say something? Say something. I don't care if a person is white, yellow, brown, green. I don't care what the color is. You got an issue over there. And if you look at the percentage of your fraud and how much of it was going to the Somali community, you got to really look at some things here. I mean, you have a large Somali population. Are they contributing? Are they doing anything positive over there? I don't know. Tell me. Tell me if they are. Because what I see from being out of state is I see a lot of coverage of high percentages of fraud coming from Somali people and Somali businesses. And then you got your libs over here who wanted to throw a big fit when ICE came in, tried to, do their arrests and find children who've been missing. And now when the dust finally settles, who comes forward to talk about money yet again? I've never seen, in all this coverage, not one time have I seen a Somali person talk about anything but money. Is there any other focus in life besides they want that dough? I don't know, but I think some real honest conversations need to happen instead of what the liberals would like to do, which is just people that are white, you have to follow the law, the rule, the this, the that, and if you have any sort of shade to your skin, nope, blinders are on, go ahead. No, that don't work for me. It does not work for me. And it shouldn't work for you either. I think it's whatever a person's skin color is of no significance. You do right or you do wrong. So it's kind of unsettling after all this time that the very first thing I hear coming out of Minnesota is this. Nope, doesn't work for me.
The Somalis are demanding reparations because of what happened with ICE. Send a flood. Look at this. Can't make this up.
Fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. And we have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
This is outrageous. Hilariously outrageous. Very bold for people that was allowed into a country to seek refuge from their own country who actually owes them something. What? It gets to a point, y'all's community that you demanding stuff for literally scammed the government out of $1 billion+ dollars. What in the Twilight Zone upside down Freaky Friday Matrix type of shit is going on here? Cause you can't, what? Y'all sitting up here demanding things from the United States government that allowed you all to come in here to seek refuge. Literally over 80% of your community is receiving government assistance. Y'all haven't been paying into the system for centuries. Y'all didn't build this country. Y'all don't really add, what did y'all add to the infrastructure? Coming here and starting a business is not the same as building a country. Coming here and opening a daycare center and having your son and your cousin and your stepson as the kids that go to the daycare center is not the same as a hard working, we work so goddamn hard. Getting government handouts and assistance. What is going on here? And the fact that you even have the gall, the balls to demand anything is diabolical. Get them out of here. And I'm not talking about all for the ones that are legalized. They're living their lives. They're not bothering nobody. They ain't trying to get all up in the hoopla. Leave those people alone. But this lady and the people in the back of her, somebody, they need some BTA. They need a little bit of straightening. Because I don't understand how these people really... I'm trying to understand, why do these people think that they are owed something? The immigrant entitlement is a little bit diabolical. It's insane. It's getting to a point. Because if Johnny had 5 apples, bitch, you already was allowed to come up in this country and work. If you've been in this country for 10 plus years, you've been able to work and get some American dollars to send back home. If all of y'all rounded up, all of y'all that work so much harder, y'all better than everybody, took all of your resources and went back to Somalia instead of going to Kenya, which is odd, and building up Kenya. That's another story for another day. If y'all took all of that back to Somalia with all of the money that y'all have, the cars, the Beamer, Benz, and Bentleys, because y'all say y'all all live in mansions, and take it back home, then y'all should have y'all a nice little city in your homeland. Why y'all not fighting the government? Why y'all not fighting the powers that be where people actually owe you something when you were born at. I just don't understand this. Y'all think Somalis deserve reparations? Spread love is the Brooklyn way, child. And literally, ICE is literally only here to enforce immigration laws. They have immigration laws in every single country all around the world. I don't know why y'all think the United States of America is supposed to be this big, huge exception to the rule. If y'all was not stealing, scamming from the government, then all eyes wouldn't be on y'all. Y'all act like people just singling y'all. You know what? I'm leaving.
Yo, now they're sitting there telling us that the American citizens, and they require for them to actually provide reparations for them committing fraud and for the Trump administration taking a stern approach to removing illegal migrants out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. You have Somalis, now that Tom Homan and ICE is starting to remove themselves from Minneapolis, you have them coming in saying ICE out, but we also want the governor and the Trump administration to provide them with relief. Now, remember, a lot of this came about because Nick Shirley started to expose the fraud that was happening within the communities and that the Biden administration neglected to address because he was too busy allowing for illegal migrants to come into this country without no kind of resistance whatsoever. They was just coming over hand over fist and it wasn't any problem. Then you had the Somali community that felt compelled to rub it in people's faces and say, hey, listen, we don't really care about how y'all feel. We believe that Minneapolis is our birthright. And then this woman comes up, read a prompt, and tells you that ICE out, we want our reparations. They want reparations. And they might even get it because you know how it is. Anybody that's illegal in this country, if you live in a blue state or a blue city, they're probably going to make sure that they take care of you.
So y'all mean to tell me that the Somalians are now demanding reparations because of ICE? Are you for real? Are you serious? Because let me tell you something. That is the greatest way to start a civil war. Give them reparations if you want to. And the black community being promised reparations from the Democratic Party since what, the past 160 years basically? Like, be for real. Be for real. It's the audacity for me. You have the audacity to come to my country, to steal from me, and then demand reparations when you have literally done nothing. At least black people got a case when they asked for reparations because they were brought here on their own. They didn't come on their own. They were brought here and they had to build this country for free. Okay? They were slaves. Okay? And we couldn't even get reparations. But y'all demanded reparations because y'all feelings is hurt? Because y'all got caught stealing? Like, dude, baby, let me tell you something. This is really, 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 really pissing me off. It's the audacity. And then you have a press conference to announce that you want reparations. Are you cool? Are you cool? Bro, if they don't round these mugs up and send them back to where they came from so they can have a greater appreciation for America, that's going to be a problem. That's what needs to happen. They need to go back to where they came from so they can realize just how good they got it here and stop reparations. I don't think I'm going to ever get over this. I don't think I'm going to ever get over the fact that the Somalis are asking for reparations. I will never get over this. That's a problem. That is a whole problem. And the real problem is, you liberal white people, y'all letting them. Y'all letting them feel like they got the power and authority and they're entitled to it. Y'all letting them feel like that. Give Somalians reparations, and that's going to indeed start a civil war. I promise you that.
You couldn't make this up if you tried. The Somali community in Minnesota is demanding reparations for, get this, ICE trauma. I wish that was a joke, but it's not. They actually held a press conference to discuss what they want. They listed out all of their demands.
Relief programs fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount, and we have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
Now, if you went and listened and couldn't understand a word she was saying, don't worry, I have the translation. They want free cash grants to all immigrant businesses under $200K in revenue. They want no evictions and free rent for immigrants. They want the government to come out and publicly apologize for all of the harm and trauma that ICE has caused. They want reparations for all of the, quote, trauma that ICE has caused. And lastly, they want ICE banned from their communities and their neighborhoods. I wonder why. This is parasitic behavior. This group is not benefiting America in the slightest. It's selfish. It's take, gimme, 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 and give nothing in return. So how about this? Give the taxpayers reparations for the $19 billion you've stolen from them.
What's up, America? The Somalian community in Minneapolis, Minnesota want $200 million in reparation payments. Oh yeah, this is not a joke. This is actually happening. So representatives from the Somalian community in Minneapolis, Minnesota have gone on television saying they want $200 million for lost revenue for their businesses throughout the city of Minneapolis. They're claiming that because of the daycares being shut down and investigated, they lost a lot of money. And they're demanding $200 million in reparations from the United States government and an apology from the Trump administration. Now that's a fantastic wish list from a group of people that already stole almost $20 billion from the United States government. But apparently after being found out with all the fraud they've committed, they want some more money to fraudulently leave with an exit fee. Or $200 million more to keep them going so they can create more leering centers. But whatever the fact of the situation is, they want $200 million because the Somalian community feels like they were wronged by the Trump administration. And that's absolutely hilarious. It would be a joke if it wasn't actually happening. What the fuck?
So the Somalis in Minnesota are now asking for reparations. They're asking for reparations because of what the federal government has done to them and all the stuff that they've been through. And they feel like they're owed some money. Forget about the fraud that they committed. Forget about their networks that they were part of. Forget about Liliana Omar and her corruption and how she's now worth over $30 million. Forget about all that. They want reparations and they want to take more money from us because they feel like they are obligated to get more money from us because of the corruption that people were able to figure out, because of the corruption that has been investigated, because of their brothers and sisters that are finally getting deported. Can you believe that? They have literally done everything they can to rip us off and get away with it, as a matter of fact, because a lot of them aren't even being held accountable. The money they took is not going to come back into our pockets. We will never see that money again. There will never be enough accountability. I hope you understand that. But the bottom line is that these people are so they have like the biggest balls, I guess. And they're going to be like, well, yeah, we want reparations for what you did to us. Yeah, I think it's time to say that if this is going to be the mindset, then they can all go home. We could just send them all back because this is ridiculous. This is out of control. And I can't even fathom, there's probably going to be someone like Tim Waltz who's like, yep, we need to give him some money back. Because of what the federal government did, we got to be sorry and apologize. And it's the moral thing to do is give him more taxpayer money. So, well, let's get right on that. That's probably what he's gonna do. These people can go piss off.
So when I made a video earlier today talking about the Somali population in Minnesota, guys, it's such a dicey thing to even talk about things like this. We don't live in a healthy society. Where we're at as a group of people is anything that you attempt to talk about as you just want to have a normal conversation about it, you will be labeled something just by talking about it. In Minnesota, 85 of the 98 people that are currently being charged with fraud are of Somali descent. That's 90%. 90% of the fraud going on in Minnesota currently, right now, the people are of Somali descent. And that's facts. That's numbers. And so to have 90% of all your fraud occurring in your state by people of Somali descent who are not originally from Minnesota, who Obama handpicked your state and told the Somali people. Now, were there Somali people in Minnesota before Obama did this? Yes. But your state was handpicked by Obama himself, and he said, come on over. Now, we see the videos online where the people say, this is our land. Somali people are claiming that that's their land. From thousands of years ago, Minnesota is theirs. Unapologetically. They'll say, white people, get back to work. We need your money. I've watched the videos. Now they want more money. They want more money from you. I guess if entitlement was a picture here, I'd love it if we could have these conversations and healthy conversations about this stuff. And nobody wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole, because on the left, you have people who want to label you a racist. I don't have a single ill will towards Somali people. I don't have any, nothing. I don't have anything of the sort. If anybody is involved in fraud, if anybody is involved in the lying and the cheating and the stealing, regardless of their skin color, I would want them called on it. I would want the people held accountable for lying, cheating, and stealing. And in Minnesota, the reason we even have to have this conversation is because we have your massive liberal politicians in Minnesota who want to turn the other way and pretend like it's not real, when it is. If I lived in Minnesota and now I see the Somali population come back on the news, demanding money, the level of disrespect is just, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. I'm so sorry to the population of Minnesota. There are no words.
If there is any community in America with a clear, undeniable cause of reparation, it's Black Americans, period. Even today, there are still no comprehensive federal programs to compensate the descendants of enslaved people. The conversation comes up, bills get introduced, debates happen, but real reinstitution is yet to happen. So when a community that arrived in the US fairly recently, mostly as refugees, experience some immigration or economic challenges, and then demand such amounts in reparation, wow. It's understandable that people push back. You have faced hardship, yes, but it's only a fraction of what Black Americans have endured for generations. Then let's talk about assimilation. It doesn't mean giving up your religion, culture, name, or language. It means understanding the system you're living in, respecting local laws and customs, and building connections outside the immediate community. Integration is key. Isolation only creates fiction and understanding. But here's the reality. No country is required to host anyone. Every nation makes decisions based on what it believes protects stability. If fraud or misuse exists, crowd down will follow. Blaming Trump and ICE entirely removes personal and economic responsibility. And accountability is exactly what's missing in many discussions. Leaders need not to call out systemic issues, but also address challenges within their own communities and encourage real solutions. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this debate? And if you've watched this far, thank you for sticking with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any further videos. See you in my next video.